All right, so today we're gonna build a login um, where you have a login button, you click on it, and it opens up a username and password box with a nice transition. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna start out with the Svelte template that you can get um, on Svelte's GitHub. You could either download it there or on the GitHub README. On the README, it gives you the command line. Uh, let's just take it all out. Yeah, we're gonna start fresh. All right. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna create the button. And we're gonna give it a class of BTN button. All right. So log in. All right. And on that, we're gonna put on click and so that's the click listener for Svelte. And we're going to add a function called login button when you click on that. All right, so there's that button. And then let's add the function login button. There you go. Now we save it, and that's what it looks like. So there's your login button. The styling on this tutorial is not going to be great. It's more to see how it works than how it styles. So we're going to add an if here. If is login is true, it's going to show the login component. Oops. Okay, it's going to show this login component. So we'll close that if block. So there you go. Now it's closed. So that's pretty much. Oh, let's do this. Let's add the is logged in variable, and we're going to have it at false once we're done. But for right now, we're going to have it set to true so that we can work with the login page. So right here on source, we're going to add a new component called login.svelte. All right, and we're going to import it. We got to import login from login.svelte. Oops. There you go. So now we're going to import this component into the app. So we save that. Now we can work in the login components. So on this one, let's start with script. And style. And then, all right. And then we're going to add a div called background with a class of background. Okay. But this div, we'll just close it, have it self-closing. Nothing's gonna, this div is not gonna cover anything. It's just gonna be the background. But if we put it over everything, then the div, which we'll call login box. So if we had this background div as a parent to the login box, then anytime you click anything in that background, it will close the background. So we're doing it like this so that we can interact with this box and not close it. So you'll understand more once I keep going. So now we're going to put a form. Oops. A form with a label for user name, user name. Be like this, username, and then in there we'll put an input. No, we're gonna do it like this. Input with a type of text. So this input, the username input is set to a type of text. Whoops. And this one will be your password input. Type of password, so that it doesn't show what you're typing in there. So password. All right, and then let's add 2 buttons. This button will be for login, and this other button is for close. All right, let's see what that looks like. All right, let's style this real quick. All right, so we'll set this to position fixed. Top 0. Whoops, that's not 0. That's 0. Left 0. Height 100. View height. Width 100. View width. So this background covers the whole page. Background color we'll set to RGBA because we want to set the opacity. We'll set it to black. And the z-index we'll set to 2. Alright, so now we'll style the login box. Login box. Oops, I didn't realize we were inside the bracket still. Alright. Alright, so we're also going to set this one to fixed, the position of fixed. The margin is going to be 20 view height and auto, so that it'll be top center. The height we'll set to 200 pixels, and the width we'll set to 400 pixels. Color we'll set to white. Let's see what that looks like. I gotta. There you go. I had the svelte capitalized. So this is what it looks like. We still gotta style these boxes. And the reason you can't, this is like covering up, is the z index. So let's fix that real quick. Z index will set to 5, and you'll see it come. There you go. See how it pops up? There you go. So there's that. Let's add some padding. Padding 15 pixels. Background color. Let's set the background color to. Let's set it to this RGB. RGB 42, 42, 186. There you go. Nice little blue. Let's do a border. Border solid 5 pixels. White. There you go. Pretty simple. Doesn't look great, but that's gonna have to do for now. So we're done with the styling. All right. Now let's do something. All right. Now let's go back to app. And let's see. Okay, got it. Now we're going to add some click listeners. So we'll start at the bottom. On click. On click, we want it to call a function called close. And we're going to add that. We're going to add that to the login button as well. Because when you click login, you still want it to close. You want it to do something, but after it does that something, it'll close. So if this was working, I'd probably I'll call the login function here, and then that login function would submit the data from the inputs, from the user input and the password input, and then at the bottom of the login function, I'd have it call close. But since this is just a demonstration, we're just going to do it like this. All right, so those are for those two buttons. We want it to close. And then we also want this background to have on click. So when that background is clicked on, we want it to also call close. All right. So now let's add a function called close. And what this function is going to do, we gotta we're gonna have this function dispatch something. So we're gonna have to import create event dispatcher. All right, we're gonna import that from svelte. We're also going to add some transitions, so let's import those here. So we're going to add the fly transition and the fade transition from svelte slash transition. All right, there you go. So we imported those transitions and create event dispatcher. So let's create a constant variable called dispatch and have that equal to create event dispatcher, the create event dispatcher function. So anytime this variable is called, it triggers this function. And we're going to use that here. So I'll put dispatch, and we will send close it to that function. Okay. And then let's add those transitions. So transition fade for the background. And then for this box, we want to add transition fly equal to, you got to double curly brace it, y, this is where it starts, negative 500. This is where, this y coordinates are where the transition is going to start and where it's going to end. And so we'll do that at negative 500. Let's see, I think that's all for this one. Yeah, so that's all here. So now this is going to dispatch, close it to the app, app svelte. So we're going to add that here. So on close it. When on close it is called, we want to call the close transition. I mean the close function. All right. So now we're going to add it. Oh yeah, I forgot to do this. Okay. So whenever this button is called, we want it to call the login button. When the login button, we want to change is logged in to equal to true, and we want it to start off at false so that it's not showing on the page until that button is clicked. All right, and then we're going to do the opposite for the close function. So the close function is going to change is logged in to false. So we save that, and now when we click here, it does that. When we click outside, it closes it. We can input whatever we want. We can close it there. We can close it with the login button, and there you go. That's a pretty simple little login. I will upload this code and put it in the comments so you can look at it and download it and check it all out, figure out if something's not working, what's going on, and all that.